Smith Show starts right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. Thank you for joining the show. Got a jam-packed show coming your way today. Got a lot of stuff to get into. Of course, the first order of business is for me to get into some NBA basketball, but I would tell people everywhere from New York to Houston to LA, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere at all, because boy, do I got a lot of stuff to tell y'all about some things that are percolating, particularly in free agency. We will get into all of that as today's show progresses, because you need to know, and I'm going to be here to tell you. 888-SAY-ESPN. Again, that's the number to call up. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive's Home Insurance. Get your quote at progressive.com today. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. Ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. Let's start off the show right there. I was wrong. And I was wrong because I actually thought that this series between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors was over after game one. Milwaukee had a week off. They were a bit rusty. They showed it in game one when they only hit 25% of their three-point shots. And then you had Kyle Lowry drop 30. You had Kawhi Leonard drop 31. And Toronto still managed to lose that game. And I was of the mindset, you know something? This ain't going to be no damn series. Toronto don't have the horses. They don't have anybody to help Kawhi. They don't have anybody else other than him to stop the bleeding. What the hell are they going to do? That's what I was thinking. And then game two comes in, and Milwaukee just ramrods the Toronto Raptors, blows them out of the state of Wisconsin. Just beat them up. Jumped out to a 35-21 lead in the first quarter and never looked back. Up by 25 at halftime. Never looked back. And I said, damn, this ain't even a game. And then game three showed up, and I predicted that Toronto would win that game because that's the one game in this series I thought they would win. And they handled their business on their home court. Although Kawhi Leonard got hurt early in that game, came down, looked like his knee buckled on the floor a little bit. And as a result, he didn't seem to be himself the rest of the game, but still played valiantly, still defended against the Greek Freak, still held the Greek Freak to 1 of 9 shooting whenever he was guarding the Greek Freak. Giannis Antetokounmpo, for those of you who needed me to make sure I say his name. And as a result, you pull within 2-1. But I expected the Milwaukee Bucks to come out last night and handle their business, because I didn't expect that Giannis Antetokounmpo would have a second consecutive bad game. I thought Middleton and others would step up. I thought they would clearly hit some perimeter shots. And as a result, Toronto would have no choice but to fold. This series would be 3-1, going back to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee will close them out Thursday night in Game 5. Well, pump the brakes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at what's transpiring, if you pay attention to what is going on, and you really, really watch, you're seeing a Toronto Raptors team that seems to have figured something out. Kawhi Leonard is hobbled. He's not himself. Doesn't matter. Kyle Lowry drops 25. Kawhi Leonard is not himself, not the offensive juggernaut that he has been throughout these playoffs. Doesn't matter. Marcus Gasol suddenly has hit 3. He's hit 7 3-pointers in the last 2 games. Games 3 and 4, Marcus Gasol has hit 7 3-pointers. Then you got a situation where you're looking at guys like Norman Powell. Shot 13 3-pointers, only hit 4, but damn was he aggressive. You look at Fred VanVleet, he hit a couple of threes. You look at the production off the bench. Overall, Milwaukee got outscored 48-23. Brogdon got held to 4 points. Ilyasova was a non-factor. Danny Green, what was he doing? And still Toronto won. Eric Bledsoe has not been impressive, to say the least. And Toronto has now notched the series. Now, if you pay attention, you see what has transpired. And what has transpired is very, very simple. Whether it's Brook Lopez, whether it's Mirotic, I don't know why he mispronounced his name, Mirotic. Whether it was Ursanas Ilyasova, you put these guys in situations where they got to guard, you switch, and you make sure they're guarding somebody on the ball. They can't do it. They can't do it. And as a result, it's problematic for the Milwaukee Bucks in terms of what they want to do defensively. They're compromised because of it. It makes them tight offensively, and there you have it. They look like a shell of themselves, fully incapable of doing whatever it takes. This is what we're looking at when we're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks right now. And the only thing, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, that looks good for you right now is that Kawhi Leonard may not be healthy. He may have done damage to that left leg. We don't know yet. But he was hobbled all last night. And somehow, some way, you got to figure it out. This is what the situation is right now. The Milwaukee Bucks went from having this series locked up after 2 games to being on the brink of elimination. The series is tied 2-2. It goes back to Milwaukee Thursday night. They've got to show up. And oh, by the way, let's not let the Greek Freak off the hook. Yes, he had 25 and 10. He started out in the first quarter with about 10, 12 points. He was relatively quiet the rest of the way. That's number 1. Number 2, they were a minus 19 with him on the court. That almost never happens. Number 3, Middleton had 30. They were still a minus 17 with him on the floor. Number 4, Brogdon, where was he? Ilyasova, where was he? Connaughton, where was he? Bledsoe, where is he? This is what the situation is. It's not pleasant right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to tell you, it's not pleasant at all. And the Toronto Raptors are on the cusp of taking a 3-2 lead in this series. The Milwaukee Bucks have to show up. And by the way, all of this noise I was making about how the Milwaukee Bucks would win the world championship if it wasn't for KD, if KD is not healthy, I take it back. Ain't nobody beating the Golden State Warriors. Nobody's beating them. Unless the Golden State Warriors suddenly can't shoot. Nobody's beating them. Because you see, that's really, really the difference, ladies and gentlemen. You watch the Milwaukee Bucks, they're missing free throws. Golden State ain't missing free throws. Perimeter shooting disappearing because they're contested shots with somebody in one of their faces for Milwaukee. That ain't going to make Golden State miss shots. You take away one playmaker, what you going to do with the others? That ain't going to happen to Golden State. When you look at Looney and you look at Cook and you look at McKinney and you combine that with Draymond and Clay and Steph, and Iguodala's going to be back now. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got problems. We got problems. Not only can the Golden State Warriors be expected to win the championship, they might steamroll through the East. They might sweep people. We didn't expect them to sweep Portland. Got my man Charles Barkley on the air giving apologies because he swore Portland was going to win, was going to go to the finals. That's not what happened here. Because Golden State is something special. They make shots. They make shots. And so somehow, some way, you're going to have to figure all of this out. Because if you don't, Lord help you. 888-SAY-ESPN is the number to call this. 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. I want to get to another subject because Kevin Durant is in the news for different reasons at this particular moment in time. He's in the news for different reasons. And I think it's important that we recognize this. Because Kevin Durant is a person I consider to be the best player in the world. He's just an offensive juggernaut, the likes of which we may not have seen. At 6'10", 6'11", with a 7'6" wingspan, with that handle, who can pull up from 30, has a mid-range game, has a fast break game, has a three-point game, has a free throw game. It doesn't matter. And his defense has improved. To the point when he's one of the premier defenders in the game of basketball right now. So I say all of that to you to say this. Obviously, when you talk about free agency, you're going to wonder about Kevin Durant. Here's why you also wondering about Kevin Durant. Because guess what? Magic Johnson came on First Take Monday. And Magic Johnson spilled the beans about the Los Angeles Lakers. Why is that a problem? Because, ladies and gentlemen, at least two individuals were considering partnering with KD. One or the other, Kyrie or Kawhi. Now that might not be the case. We don't know. We just don't know. But his manager, who's got everything, who's intimately involved in KD negotiations, who will be at the negotiating table, whose sole responsibility is to protect the interest of Kevin Durant, Rich Kleinman, was speaking yesterday, and my producers will refresh my memory as to where he was speaking, but he was speaking yesterday. Wall Street Journal article. He was being interviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Or he was being interviewed in the Wall Street Journal wrote an article. And Rich Kleinman was speaking. And listen to what he had to say when asked about Kevin Durant. Take it away, y'all.
What you're saying is that this has not been decided. There's no hidden handshake agreement.
No.
With the New York Knicks?
No.
No, nothing like that?
No.
Okay. All right.
That is 100% undecided, and I'm waiting on Kevin. You know, that's the truth. I think there's a feeling that this thing is like war games, and everybody's kind of like
playing a role.
Yeah, playing chess like years out. But when somebody gets to the level of basketball that he's at, you can't juggle focus like that. There's so many things he's juggling too. He's not scripting his future while he's playing the way he plays and practices the way he practices. He really doesn't know, and I really don't know.
I believe him. I believe that Kevin Durant, that's an accurate assessment. Here's why. I believe Kevin Durant has made up his mind. I just believe Kevin Durant is the kind of person that can change his mind. And until it's done, it ain't done, which makes Rich Kleinman very, very accurate. What we have to pay attention to when it comes to Kevin Durant is that if you're a New York Knicks fan, here is your nightmare.
Do you feel like you're under now?
Because the more time passes, the more opportunity people have to remind folks of what the Knicks brand is, what it has been under the James Dolan era, and how detrimental it can be to the future of the Knicks to partner in anything basketball related to James Dolan. Money, sure, partner with the man. Man knows how to make money. But in terms of basketball, some people will encourage folks to avoid James Dolan like the plague. I don't feel that way because I believe in Steve Mills. I believe in Scott Perry. I believe in David Fizdale. And I believe that those three, that three-headed monster, with the right assets can make some things happen. I believe that. I truly, truly do. But if you're the New York Knicks, you've got to be worried. Because it's time that I tell y'all some other things that I've been hearing. Yes, I heard KD's coming to New York. Yes, I heard Kyrie would join him. I've also been on the record stating nothing's definitive. They can change their mind. You know what else I've been hearing? Kobe's been talking to Kyrie. Obviously, you know Kyrie and Kobe are very close. Kobe's been talking to Kyrie. We don't know whether or not Kyrie was considered the Lakers, although I've been told by folks close to Kyrie, ain't no way in hell he's going to the Lakers to join LeBron. But I'm being told don't rule that out. Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers. I'm being told don't rule that out. A matter of fact, I have it on pretty good authority. That's something Irvin Magic Johnson himself was working on because he knows the uncle of Kawhi Leonard. So we can't rule that out with the Lakers. Of course, the Clippers think they got a shot at Kawhi. And now Brooklyn thinks they got a shot at Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Because they're anticipating having enough cap space for 2 max players as well, which was the impetus and the motivation behind the New York Knicks ultimately trading Kristaps Porzingis to clear $41 million in cap space so they would have over $73 million available and they'd be able to get 2 max players. Now, let me be the first to say, I don't know what the hell to believe. My days of trying to be Woj and those boys are over. I don't have to chase stories like they anymore. That ain't my job. I'm a television and radio host. Do I have my sources? You're damn right I do. Do I have my information? I think I've proven that. But my point to you is, I don't know. And I ain't going to lie to you. But I do know this. Everything that I just said is accurate as it pertains to the mumblings that are going on throughout the NBA community right now, privately. The Nets plan on competing for KD and Kyrie with the Knicks. The Lakers plan on competing with Kawhi or Kyrie with the Clippers and the Knicks, respectively, because Kawhi ain't going to the Knicks. Kevin Durant's in the middle of it because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If Kevin Durant decides he wants to go anywhere, who's going to tell him no? If Kevin Durant says, you know what, I decide I want to play with LeBron in L.A., that ain't happening. But hypothetically, I'm just saying, if Kevin Durant decided I want to play with LeBron James, Lakers going to tell him no? If Kevin Durant said, yo, Doc, Jerry West, Steve Ballmer, I think I want to go to the Clippers, they going to tell him no? If the Brooklyn Nets, KD and Klyman call Sean Marks and Kenny Atkinson and those boys, I think I want to come to Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. They're going to tell him no? Steve Mills, Scott Perry in New York with the Knicks, Madison Square Garden. You going to tell KD no? Golden State. KD says, I want to stay. You going to tell him no? If you are Tillman Fertitta, the owner for the Houston Rockets, who I love, by the way. I love him. I really do. I love him. I love his guy, man. Boy, that man is fire. He's straight fire. He don't play. Neither does Joe Lacob, one of my favorite people in this business. That's my man right there. But getting back to Fertitta, the owner for the Houston Rockets. No, you don't have the space. You don't have the cap space or anything to get Kevin Durant. But this was the same Houston Rockets team that was willing to unload 4 first-round picks, or 4 picks, rather, for Jimmy Butler. What you willing to do for Kevin Durant? He ain't going to Houston. I don't think that's happening. But I'm just saying, think about the options that Kevin Durant has. Now, I'm told he's going to take a vacation right when the season ends. He's going to go away for a couple of weeks. He's going to come back. He's going to make the decision immediately. It ain't going to be a bunch of pomp and circumstance. He don't roll like that. He ain't trying to be one of those individuals that's holding press conferences and having cameras everywhere and saying, I'm taking my talents to wherever. That ain't his style. That's not what he's going to do. But I can tell you something right now. Kevin Durant, it's his free agency. Just like it was LeBron's free agency in the past, it's Kevin Durant's free agency now. It ain't even Kawhi. And we all know Kawhi's big time. But Kawhi the type of person, we going to find out where he's going because he's going to just show up. He ain't going to tell us a damn thing. Okay? That ain't Kawhi. He don't want no fanfare. He don't give a damn about any of that. Kawhi just want to play, grab his lunch pail, go to work, and go home. That's Kawhi. Okay? That's who he is. So if we understand that, then it's important for us to recognize this is KD's summer. It belongs to him. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see what people actually do about this. It really, really is. Things are getting very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The Lakers losing Magic Johnson the way that they did. I got news for y'all. For those that want to insult Magic Johnson, want to try to go off about him and all of this other stuff, I have a very, very simple question about Magic Johnson. Talk all you want to. Who you think free agents are going to call when it comes to coming to the Lakers? Jeannie? Pelinka? Kurt or Linda Rambis? Phil Jackson? Who do you think they're going to call? Who do you think they're going to call? Think they're going to call Kobe? Kyrie will. Kyrie will. That's his man. It's like a big brother to him. Kyrie will call Kobe. They've been calling each other. I believe what I heard. But how many people you think will call those folks? You know the person's going to get the call. It's going to be Irvin Magic Johnson. So keep that in mind as you talk about Magic here. Yeah, it didn't look great that he said what he said, when he said it, with impending free agency and all of this other stuff. Magic got tired of the lip. Got tired of people talking behind his back. Got tired of all that other nonsense. That's what Magic Johnson got tired of. Enough's enough. Say what you will. He didn't apologize. He didn't tell you he was right. He said, I'm a man, this is how I feel, and I do it my way. He don't give a damn whether you like it or not. He doesn't care. And you can excoriate him till the cows come home. If you want to be a Laker, you're probably going to call Magic Johnson. Good luck. Good luck. 888-SAY-ESPN is always the number to call up. That's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. We'll get back to your calls or to your calls and more in a minute. Obviously, with the things that I just broke down, there's an awful lot to discuss. That was Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less, only at Walmart. By the way, people, I'm here to tell you about Zelle, a quick and easy way to send and receive money right from your banking app. Not sure what to get someone for their birthday, graduation, or housewarming? Send them money with Zelle, a truly one-size-fits-all present so they can buy whatever they want. The money goes directly into their bank account, typically within minutes if they are already enrolled with Zelle. So they don't have to wait long to spend it on a perfect gift for themselves. Look for Zelle in your banking app or get more info at ZellePay.com. Terms and conditions apply.